What is happening, mediocre people of YouTube? So, I really wasn't planning on documenting or at least uploading video of this radio. Although I did post pictures of it on the channel. Um, but I am gonna upload some video just for the sake of kind of documenting some of this stuff, because one thing I came across in here was this ground right here. Looks like it has definitely been screwed with. This one right here, and possibly right here on this capacitor. But then, I don't know. That certainly doesn't look like factory soldering to me. But I guess it could be. But anyway, I guess I was just going to kind of document this. Actually, my capacitors came in today, which I wasn't expecting to receive until Friday or Saturday. So it's now like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm kind of thinking about fucking around with this. Start replacing some of these caps. This electrolytic right here was broken off, which is probably the reason it stopped working, because this was just kind of hanging in here when I received the radio. And then as I was putzing around in here and trying to get the values, this one broke off of here. I think I am going to use 6040 lead solder, only because that's what's already in here. And I think I'm going to start replacing the capacitors on here. Another thing was this cord. This cord was either cut or rotted, or probably a little bit of both. And I was going to, and I'm going to replace the cord, but then the question comes into play, because I thought, well, I'll replace it with a nice 3-prong cord. But then the more I go looking into radios, there's people out there that say, well, you can just replace it with a 2-prong polarized cord with the hot wire going to the switch. There's people that have said, I'm reading on radio forums now, antique radio forums, that say that, yeah, there's definitely a difference if you have a non-polarized plug and you flip the switch, or flip the plug around in the socket itself, between noise and whatnot coming from the radio. I can't understand why you wouldn't want to go to a 3-prong cord and ground it to the chassis, other than there's like one reason that you wouldn't do that, but it doesn't look like that's the case in this radio. So I don't know if any of you guys didn't know anything about that. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to go with a 3-prong cord. If it doesn't work out, I will go with a polarized or a non-polarized 2-prong cord. The only thing being is that mainly it sounds like the reason people go for a true 2-prong cord is to make it look as original as possible from 1941, which I'm not really concerned about that, because I intend to use this radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio on AM, and so once this is up and running, I intend to use it. I am going to pull all the tubes out and take them to a guy I just recently met, happens to live very, very much close by. Have him test the tubes. I'll keep as many of the tubes as I can, and I'll replace the ones that need to be replaced. Other than that, these capacitors they are well past their, just visually, they're well past anything you would want to see in one of these things. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I kind of wanted to get one more shot of everything before I start desoldering and soldering new capacitors in here. Again, that ground right there is a little bothersome. Just because it doesn't look factory, and I don't know why anybody would mess with that. Actually, it looks almost like a... No, I thought it was a cold solder joint there. It looks... If I can focus in on it, see what I'm talking about there. But actually, it's connected pretty nicely. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this thing. I've got plenty of resistors if I need to replace any resistors. Somebody said to me it's more the higher value resistors that can drift over time, but the lower value resistors seem to hold their tolerance. Just poking around in here and testing the ones I could test and pulling a leg off here and there, the resistors have been, right on. It seems to be. There's a couple of mica capacitors in here which I don't really intend on, although I did get the replacements for them. I don't really intend to replace these mica capacitors because they rarely go bad, from my understanding. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Like I said, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm awake and kind of thinking about getting into this. So that's where I'm at. So you guys let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing any more of this radio. Hopefully I'll get it working, and it'll be cool to have around. I don't really want to mess with the cabinet too much. I did clean it, but I'd really prefer not to refinish it if I don't have to. It looks like at some point maybe this piece broke off and somebody glued that back in. That might possibly be something that I try to make look a little better than that glue sitting there. Overall, the grill cloth is in really good condition, and the cabinet overall is in really good condition. I threw the knobs down in there. I just wiped it and then went over it with the good old Howard's Feed and Wax, and I'm happy with the way it came out. So yeah, no, I'm not looking to get into refinishing the cabinet. So there we are. You guys tell me if you want to see some more of this, or I'll just force it upon you. One or the other. Peace.